Be rough, don't run, stay good girl. Ride me rough, pretty thing with the center eyes. You keep begging for the collar when I weaponize. You said love should leave you shaking, barely catching breath. Every time you climb my shadow, you flirting with death. Ride me rough, let my fingerprints spell out your fate. You keep crawling to the fire just to feel me break. You want valves made out of barbed wire, hurting every touch. Baby, somehow we're still breathing when it's all too much. You come crawling to my doorstep full of midnight needs. You don't want no gentle bullshit, you want someone to lead. You want orders on your tongue instead of sugar names. You want someone who can leash you to your darkest flame. You like fists up on the table when you act too wild. You like danger in my voice when I say good girl. You like pressure on your freedom till you crack and fold. You like shaking in my hands when I say do what you're told. You got funeral flower perfume when you chase my sins. Smell like trouble in the chapel when the night begins. You whisper if this kills me, let it be the sweetest sin. But somehow I'm still breathing every time you bend. You say don't be soft with me, I ain't built for tame. Wrap your wheel around my throat and carve in your name. You bite down on all my threads like they're your favorite drug. Breathing in my darkness, exhale every hug. Ride me rough, pretty thing with the center eye. You keep begging for the collar when I weaponize. You said love should leave you shaking, barely catching breath. Every time you climb my shadow, you're flirting with death. Ride me rough, let my fingerprints spell out your fate. You keep crawling to the fire just to feel me break. You want valves made out of barbed wire, hurting every touch. Baby, somehow we're still breathing, yeah, we hurt this much. You don't wanna sing, you want a hand that makes you kneel. You want someone pulling strings till you can't trust what you feel. You want praise that sounds like punishment against your ear. You want mercy dangled just enough to disappear. A silhouette against the doorway when you hear my keys. You start shivering like the air itself fell to his knees. Devil flicker in your smile when I say don't move. You keep begging for the bruise that proves you never lose. You say mark me like a warning sign across your chest. Let them know who owns a storm that never lets you rest, you breathe. If this is wrong, then leave my lungs in pieces, please. But we're still breathing in the wreckage down on both our knees. You say, don't you stop until my pride gives up. Spill your temper on my body, let it flood the cup. You want sermons in the sweat and every shaking breath. Choking on confession while you're dancing with death. Ride me rough, pretty thing with the center eyes. You keep begging for the collar when I weaponize. You said love should leave you shaking, barely catching breath. Every time you climb my shadow, you're flirting with death. Ride me rough, let my fingerprints spell out your fate. You keep crawling to the fire just to feel me break. You want valves made out of barbed wire, hurting every touch. Baby, out there we're still breathing when we bleed this much. Kneel in every shadow that remembers my name. Turn the bruises into beads on a rosary of blame. You say break me like a promise that you never meant to keep. Tie my heartbeat to your temper till I can't even sleep. If peace is just a safe word that we never wanna say. Let the neighbors hear your worship when you cry my way. Your freedom is a cage you built into that open love. We're still breathing through the damage. You below, I'm above. You bounce back from every rough night with a darker glow, turning every single order to a halo low. You've been hunting for a master that can match your wow. You ain't scared of how it hurts, you just wanna feel style. Moonlight on your back while you obey each line. You said break me into pieces long as every piece is mine. Teeth marks like constellations no one else can read. We're still breathing in the silence where our demons feed. Ride me rough, pretty thing with the center eye. You keep begging for the collar when I weaponize. You said love should leave you shaking, barely catching breath. Every time you climb my shadow, you're flirting with death. Ride me rough, let my fingerprints spell out your fate. You keep crawling to the fire just to feel me break. You want valves made out of barbed wire, hurting every touch. Baby, somehow we're still breathing, yeah, we hurt this